Lesson 28. Above all else, I want to see things differently. Today we are really giving specific application to the idea for yesterday. In these practice periods, you will be making a series of definite commitments. The question of whether you will keep them in the future is not our concern here. If you are willing at least to make them now, you have started on the way to keeping them, and we are still at the beginning. You may wonder why it is important to say, for example, above all else, I want to see this table differently. In itself, it is not important at all. Yet, what is by itself? And what does in itself mean? You see a lot of separate things about you, which really means you are not seeing at all. You either see or not. When you have seen one thing differently, you will see all things differently. The light you will see in any one of them is the same light you will see in them all. When you say, above all else, I want to see this table differently, you are making a commitment to withdraw your preconceived ideas about the table and open your mind to what it is and what it is for. You are not defining it in past terms. You are asking what it is rather than telling it what it is. You are not binding its meaning to your tiny experience of tables, nor are you limiting its purpose to your little personal thoughts. You will not question what you have already defined. And the purpose of these exercises is to ask questions and receive the answers. In saying, above all else, I want to see this table differently, you are committing yourself to seeing. It is not an exclusive commitment. It is a commitment that applies to the table just as much as to anything else, neither more nor less. You could, in fact, gain vision from just that table if you would withdraw all your own ideas from it and look upon it with a completely open mind. It has something to show you. This lesson's so good. Something beautiful and clean and of infinite value, full of happiness and hope. Hidden under all your ideas about it is its real purpose, the purpose it shares with all the universe. In using the table as a subject for applying the idea for today, you are therefore really asking to see the purpose of the universe. You will be making the same request of each subject that you use in the practice periods, and you are making a commitment to each of them to let its purpose be revealed to you instead of placing your own judgment upon it. We will have 6 2-minute practice periods today in which the idea for the day is stated first and then applied to whatever you see about you. Not only should the subjects be chosen randomly, but each one should be accorded equal sincerity as today's idea is applied to it, in an attempt to acknowledge the equal value of them all in their contribution to your seeing. As usual, the applications should include the name of the subject your eyes happen to light on, and you should rest your eyes on it while saying, above all else, I want to see this differently. Each application should be made quite slowly and as thoughtfully as possible. There is no hurry. Above all else, I want to see things differently. Okay, this entire lesson, there were a few things that I'm sure you could tell as I was reading jumped out at me even more important as I read through these lessons again with you. In paragraph 3, it says, you're doing this to make a commitment to withdraw your preconceived ideas. We've talked about that in past lessons. We bring preconceived ideas and interpretation and meaning to all things. So we're withdrawing that. We're looking at everything with fresh eyes, right? Because we want to see things differently. We are not defining it in past terms. You are asking what it is rather than telling it what it is. That's so big. You are not binding its meaning to your tiny experience of whatever that object is, nor are you limiting its purpose to your little personal thoughts. Remember, we said recently in one of the lessons, I do not understand what I see. I do not understand. I'm determined to see. All of these lessons are building upon each other. We don't understand. I give everything I see the meaning that it has for me. That's another lesson indicating that we're bringing past associations and interpretations and ascribing that meaning from the past onto things in the present. It's so big. You're not binding its meaning. Binding, limiting what it means for you in the world by your tiny experience. Nor are you limiting its purpose, what it's for, to your little personal thoughts, your little separate, small human thoughts about it. Remember, we don't know. We can't possibly know the bigger picture of things, and that's okay. We can ask to see things differently and then be guided to those kinds of insights and understanding. But if we lead with that, then we can never be open enough and empty enough to really get the deeper meaning of what something is and what it's for. That's why this lesson is really big. Another thing that was so huge, hidden under all your ideas about it, is its real purpose, the purpose it shares with all the universe. So amazing. When our current perspective or point of view, the place from which we are seeing, our perception, is rooted in fear and hopelessness, we're triggered all because of past stuff that happened in the past that made us feel this way, that we bring into the present. It's easy to feel like we are burdened and at the effect of a chaotic and fearful and we're overwhelmed world, and we're overwhelmed by it all. But miracles are always there. They're just out of our reach. We're deflecting them. They're coming right at us all the time, but we're pushing them away. The ego is distracting us. It's like we're looking over here and the miracles are coming sideways at us because the ego's got us loaded down and burdened and bogged down with the past. So we can't get there because any of that loveless stuff blocks love. The miracle occurs naturally as an expression of love or an alignment with love. So the miracle's always within reach, but we can't get there from our current point of view. And that's what the Course is teaching us how to do, to realign with the mind of God, which is the correct point of view and that we always have access to. The Course says that God had the answer, the solution, the moment the problem occurred. So anything you have going on. We are so often stuck in the limited perspective of the chaos of what's going on, of the world, of the battleground, the Course says. And that the solution that we're aiming for, the perspective that we want, is the one of higher ground. This is a military thing, right? You want to have the higher ground so you can see what's going on, and that all that chaotic stuff has to come uphill to get to you. It's an uphill battle. I just got that on a completely different level right then. I hope you did too. It's an uphill battle. It's a slog. It's hard. You want it to be hard for fear and lovelessness and chaos and grievance and all that junk, anxiety, depression and overwhelm and hatred and injustice and all of the bad things. You want it to be hard for them to get to you. So you want to take the higher ground, right? It needs to be an uphill battle to get to you because you are of the higher mind. The Course says God does not give you victory in battle. He lifts you above the battleground. And that's what we're talking about here. You want the point of view from above the battleground, where the angels are. That big picture, the eagle eye view, that is the place of higher mind, higher wisdom, and miracles. When you're stuck in something that is upsetting you, something that is causing you pain, that is being stuck in the battle. And it's okay, because we all get triggered and stuck in those places. And even if you do this work, something else will come along to trigger you in a different way, because all things are lessons God would have us learn. And it's practicing it over here, practicing it with this person, practicing it in this relationship, loving and forgiveness, and love and forgiveness. So we're going to go through lots of lessons that help to make us stronger, to help us remember to rise above. And we want to rise above that turmoil to the place where the miracle is waiting, to God's point of view, from the angelic. The Course calls it the sphere of celestial order, where all things are perfect. That's where you want to go with your mind. You don't want to stay stuck in this. And it is okay to ask for that divine help in getting us to the place of higher ground, higher wisdom, higher clarity, higher solutions. Because the Course says there would be no Savior if there were no need for one. You're here in this world, in this dream, and you can ask for help to bridge the gap between where you are now on the battleground and that place of higher knowledge. So ask for divine help in shifting from that place in your mind of totally triggered, totally affected, totally spiraling out of control, to above all else, I want to see this differently. And getting the godly wisdom, the loving solution and clarity. That's the miracle. The shift from the battleground to the higher mind. And the great thing about Jesus, who is giving us this course, is he knows how hard it can be in the world. And that's the point. That's why he's the guide. That's why he's the master miracle worker, the master teacher. He knows how hard trust and faith and change can be when we're deeply entangled in the roots of those old ways of thinking. And he knows the resistance that's there. And if he didn't, who would he be to teach us anything? But he overcame, and is now here to help us in doing the same. By inviting in that divine assistance, we open ourselves up to transformation. We're honoring our free will and choosing to take the second place to gain the first. We're surrendering ourselves to divine assistance. That allows us to see things differently and to receive and embrace the miracles that are waiting for us. See you tomorrow.